Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Misfit Toys. We need some snaps. We need some jazz hands. We have the amazing, talented, beautiful, and hilarious Chu Bu. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me today.
Where are you beaming in from? We have Jay from New Mexico. What's up? What's up? What's up? New Mexico's in the house. Oh my goodness. What, like, are we Santa Fe, Albuquerque? Like, where? Everybody around the world, from London, New York, South Africa, Asia, America, South America, write in, let us know where you're at, give you a little shout out. So Chu, where are you coming in from?
I'm coming from New Orleans, Louisiana.
So they call it NOLA.
NOLA, yes.
So for those of you that don't know, I did not know that you could go NOLA. Like, I didn't know that Chi-Town was called Chi-Town, like that's Chicago.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you know that Chi-Town's called Chi-Town? Like, you knew that.
I knew that, but yeah.
I did not. I was literally on a plane from China, and I had a layover, and then I had to do a gig in Chicago. And I logged on to my dating app, and they're like, "Oh, you from Chi-Town?" And I'm like, yes, I came from China, but that's a little, how did you know? Like, I thought it was Chinatown. Like, and I was like, that's a little bit presumptuous that you knew I was coming. How did you know I was coming in from? And then I realized that, oh, I'm the ignorant one. Like, that's me. Like, I'm the one that does not know what's going on. So you're from NOLA. Were you born and raised in New Orleans, Chu?
I was born in Oklahoma, and then moved to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. I think of New Orleans as home for sure.
And what about New Orleans do you love?
Okay, New Orleans has a unique energy. It's a place where everyone's very excited and curious about new people. They're a little nosy when you get here, but it's all love. And it's a place where magic can happen. Like, if you want to do anything that's quirky or off, people will rally around it because we celebrate all things unique, and it's a great, and if you're a comedian, you can thrive in that kind of space because no matter what you propose, there's a bunch of people like, we're totally game. Okay, let's do this.
There is magic in that. There is a magic in New Orleans. It is this place, it has a French core. It has a Creole soul. It has this voodoo mystical side to it. There's so many layers and depth to New Orleans and Louisiana that just really was so just palpable as soon as you got off the plane. Where do you think that comes from?
I mean, I think it definitely comes from the history of New Orleans, where so many different groups of people came together and were integrated in a very unique way and partied together and celebrated together and really absorbed other cultures. So it's this mixture, this hodgepodge of influences in part. And again, I can't explain it. It's like something in the air. Like, even when you land, like when you get close to the heart of New Orleans, like the quarters or just wherever, you can feel
the Latin Quarter is the heart of New Orleans. Would you say?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Le Quartier Latin, and it was spared during Katrina. Geographically, it wasn't supposed to be, but somehow it was protected.
There's some theory, yes, magic,
because geographically it should have been underwater, but
we think, but magic, economic magic.
Were you there during Katrina?
I was not. Well, I was in school during that time, but my family was here, and that was kind of it was a really scary time because for a couple weeks I couldn't reach them. Like, the last I heard, my mom very last second decided to leave because at first they were just going to ride it out. And then I think my aunt called and just told my mom, was like, are you watching the news? Get out of there, effectively. And so my parents, my siblings who were there, and some extra people they brought on were all on the highway. And it would normally take maybe an hour and a half to get from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, where I was, but it was standstill. So it would have been like 10 plus hours. And so the last thing I hear from them is that they're on their way, and I don't hear anything else for the next couple weeks, which is the most terrifying thing ever for that time period.
Because your mind populates that space with what the possibilities may be.
It is a different time now. It's like now everyone has a cell phone. There's so much people checking safe on social media. And like the worst part was like I'm watching the news, and I guess the news, like CNN, is assuming that no one in New Orleans is watching them because they're just saying stuff in the middle of the night, like, yeah, if you haven't left now, it's over for you, like it's done. I'm like, what? Wait, wait a second.
I happened to be abroad when it happened, and the news that I was watching in Europe was not the same news that was being broadcast in America.
Okay, yeah.
And there was this interesting moment where they were showing in the European news aspects of Katrina and New Orleans that CNN and the American press were not showing.
Wow.
And the anti-government graffiti was so prominent, but yet never appeared on CNN. So there was so many of these visuals. This is not where I expected the show to go, because usually we start with breakfast and BITCH, which is what's bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, and hard. So breakfast, but we're going to BITCH and just go back in time, because this Katrina, I would love to unpack it because you are from New Orleans and it is so close to home. Number one, what'd you have for breakfast, by the way?
What I have for breakfast? I think I skipped breakfast, but I ended up having, or maybe I had a smoothie.
Smoothie. Okay. I had a raw bagel because I was too lazy to toast it. I was just like, I'm going to do my bagel, walk my German Shepherd, and well, bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, and hard. The way that it was handled, and when I'm sorry, mismanaged, the way that America came and eventually made Louisiana whole, made New Orleans whole, but there were a lot of missteps. What were some of the missteps that you saw? What were some of the errors? What was bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, and hard about being in New Orleans and Louisiana Katrina, that situation?
You said what was bizarre? Oh, what's
ironic, terrifying, crazy? Yeah. What was bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, or hard? BITCH, reclaiming the word by spelling it, not
there's
saying
a lot.
it.
The bizarre thing that happened, one of the bizarre things that happened was the fact that Americans from America started being called refugees. That was the first bizarre thing that started happening. And then this real categorization where they were separate, where they were kind of saying, calling them all either refugees or looters, just en masse, and how connected that seemed to go to color. So if you're from New Orleans, for a period of time that lasted quite a bit of time, you were called a refugee within your own country, which was a very bizarre thing. And it, like, an interesting thing was how many people really did come together. I always hope that during times like this, they really can showcase how this can bring people together. A lot of people opened up their homes. I was an RA at a dorm, and so they opened it up to families who were just everywhere. And my college created a triage center where people were coming in that, I volunteered, throughout the day and night. So that was the interesting thing, I guess, which I enjoy, is just how these kind of moments actually sometimes bring in the best of people, especially when the systems you think will take care of stuff are not taking care of it timely. So that's an interesting thing.
But the individuals step up to fill in.
Yes. Oh,
so I love the fact that here I come. It's all about the yin and yang. You talk about the light. There was some dark moments about Katrina that people haven't talked about, and a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
There was a moment that was not captured in American media where, I'm not going to say who, but there was a demographic that sat on the roofs of their house and shot people with their rifles as though they were in a firing range. And because of the flooding, there were bodies that were floating that did not drown, but were taken because people saw an opportunity to just take advantage, and in the cloak of night and in the cloak of disaster, took advantage and literally murdered people left and right from the roofs of their house on rafts and boats with motors, and went around and murdered people knowing that there would be no repercussions because no one would know how it really happened. Do you acknowledge this? Is this news to you?
Yeah, that is news to me. I know a lot of dark things that happened. Hadn't heard that particular thing, but
so that to me was kind of, and then what happened in the Mercedes Dome, the stands, and in where people, like the ugly came out as well, where people are like, there's nobody to, it's kind of Lord of the Flies, in the sense that the government has fallen apart. There is no one to hold us accountable except for our own morals, and the universe, God, the source, will judge us. And some rose up and some went deep and dark. Yeah. And that was highlighted in the international media, but the American media just didn't talk about it at all. And that to me was just kind of like, whoa. That was the first moment being an American, out as an expat, being outside of America, watching something so tremendous, and realizing the difference, the stark difference between what we see and what the world sees, and where is that truth? And where is that truth? And in the pandemic and what has happened in 2020, we see this as well. Whereas here comes the media with what, and now it's so hard to understand because there's so much noise. Where is the truth? What is real? What is not real? Thank you, Photoshop. Thank you, Facetune. Thank you, all those filters that make me look 10 years younger, because girl knows we ain't that cute without those filters. I got a powder my nose. I'm just keeping it real. Where is that truth? And has that been, do you ever talk about that? That line between where is truth and where is fantasy? What is real and what is not?
That's one thing I will tell you. Part of the madness of especially the last 4 or 5 years is just everyone's talking about what is truth now. There has been more conversation than in my entire life about what's real, what's true, what's manipulative, what can you trust, etc. I think all people are kind of challenged in that way, and we have found a way to navigate all this information that sometimes contradicts itself, and and figure out what we take in.
So we're going to get deep for a second. What does truth mean to you? Define truth. What is truth?
Okay, because now, see, this is the thing. I have to be careful, because I know nowadays there's all this is my truth, this is my personal truth, and it's not what, like, you can't say things like you said before, like facts. That's the truth, or like.
Well, so facts aren't truth, but what is your truth? What does truth mean to Chu?
See, and this is part, like, there's a part that's like the factual definition of truth, but there's the part that's like, for me, truth is something that is resonant in part, and that is supported by reality for me.
So truth is reality in the sense that truth is the moment. Mm-hmm. This right now is the only truth.
Ew.
The moment, what we have, what we experience, this is the only truth. What we think and how we remember things in the past is tainted by many things. What we expect will happen in the future is one thing, but what I've learned, this is getting, again, the one truth is this moment. The one powering off. Thank you, Siri. She's like, I can't handle the truth. Siri literally was like, you're talking about truth, and my literally Siri was like, I'm powering off. I cannot handle this truth. Siri's like powering off. So that's one thing why I love comedy, because comedy's all about the moment, being with the audience, and that one moment where we are one laughing, that's truth. There's so much in that. Do you agree, disagree?
No, absolutely. Comedy reveals truth in a way that nothing else can, because it allows people to receive more truth than they can in everyday life.
Speaking of comedy and truth, Let's welcome Brenda Brown, Miss Chocolate Child. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, everybody. I totally was over here looking at my cracked phone, trying to find like the definition of truth and comedy because I was kind of tuning in.
Yeah, but
But
I would love for you to look inside yourself, not into the crack pipe, whatever the crack is that you're trying to look. The truth ain't in the crack. The truth is within you. Put that down, Brenda.
Okay.
Take a beat.
Okay.
What's your truth? Like, what do you believe? I know she's like, girl, I came in to laugh. And the thing, he's coming at me with truth. This is so deep. I thought we were going to be all like cute and pink and laughing.
I know.
Okay, so
so
truth is comedy. Truth is real. Truth is like, I'm a shiny gay Ukrainian Jew that is powdering. I'm beating my face in public because I'm just trying to keep it real. So what does truth mean to Brenda Brown?
Well, I didn't know it had a meaning. I didn't know it had a meaning. I thought
Did it have so let's take a beat. Does it have a feeling?
It does. It has a true, pure meaning where my hackles don't get up and where, I guess that's woman's intuition. I don't guess other people get to have it. But others with the wrong piping, I don't think they get to have it. But I think anything that unrests my soul interferes with my truth. And if it unrests my soul and interferes with my truth, then I run the other way. So I didn't know it had a meaning, but hey.
No, I love the fact that what Brenda said is so powerful. Truth doesn't have a meaning. Truth has a feeling.
I would think so. That
is so powerful. I don't know what truth is, but I feel what truth is. And my soul can feel truth. And the fact that you express that so eloquently, and we're like, my mentally, no, but spiritually, emotionally, yes, I know, I feel, not I know, but I feel truth. True. Agree, disagree? What?
No, but I feel that like definitely different people relate to truth in different ways. Like I'm very intuitive, which means that's why I was doing that thing about things having to resonate as well. So it goes from the inside to outside for me. Like I feel the truth inside, and then but I also have to have it be supported by reality. I know some people are like the opposite. Like they have to like actually just they're just very much from the outside, and then they calculate the truth. They're like, okay,
so we have that's the golden circle, the what and the outside, the how and the why. Brenda's like, no, I work from the inside out. The truth comes from the inside out. Many of us come from the outside in. Taking a beat. Brenda Brown, you are amazing. You held it down for 2020, gave such an amazing space through your podcast live stream, brought so many artists together to speak their truth. I just need to give you some mad props. That was amazing. That was amazing. Please tell the world who you are and what you did in 2020.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Iggy Love Sky, for having me here on your show. I always freak out and panic when people invite me to their shows because I'm like, who am I? I'm just this girl who was sitting in her daddy's chair, i.e. this chair in back of me. And I thought, you know what? I enjoy having my friends around. I enjoy laughing, and I enjoy having a good time. So literally, this Sauce in the City didn't start in 2020. It actually started from what I can tell, the proof that I have, it actually started in November of 2019. Now, I'm sure that there was some months before that because I had to talk my co-host into doing it. Because at this time, every comedian that I approached told me that online comedy was for the birds. They actually was like, you know what? No comedian worth their salt will ever be caught online doing comedy. It was all these things about stealing jokes and stealing content and just everybody fighting. But literally,
let's take a beat right there. Stealing jokes.
Stealing jokes.
I want to unpack that one real quick. What is it? Can you steal a joke?
I'm gonna ask. Yeah.
Miss
Ask her
Comedian
that.
from NOLA, Miss Chu Bu, can you steal a joke?
People absolutely take jokes without permission all the time.
I teach, if someone can do your joke better than you, it wasn't yours.
Ooh.
So the way to
Well,
protect your IP is to make it so unapologetically authentic that anyone that even tries just makes an ass out of themselves. Like they just fall. Like you have, that's the art of comedy. You have to make it so unique and do it in a way that only you can do it. And that is that's the bar. If someone else can do your joke better than you, it wasn't yours.
well, that's what I say too. And I thought to myself, people steal my stuff all the time. When I was online doing comedy, I was the only virtual comedy stage when I started, and I fought through all the bullies, I fought through all the naysayers, and people who called me a charlatan. Screw you, people. Because now virtual comedy has taken flight. So you see, I was right all along. So Sauce in the City was literally a place where I would just collect these magnanimous comedy characters, is what I called it, because character is inside of you. It's where that truth is. And no one can do your character like you can. So that's what makes you right, Iggy. And that's what makes you right, Chu Bu, is that when you are a character unto yourself, there's never a carbon copy. Iggy, I love you. That is one of the reasons why I was just elated when you said you would come on my show, because you are a character all in your own. And you know what? We had a good time, and nobody has been able to duplicate that episode thus far.
So it took me a couple decades to figure that out. Just to be your unapologetic self on stage as a comedian, speak your vulnerability with courage. It takes a lot. It's not easy. But those that can, those are the ones that rise to the top. You both have such integrity, authenticity, and courage, which is why I wanted to have both of you together. Because when I was thinking, I was like, in different ways, but in this time, you have never deviated from that path, that integrity, that authenticity. You are unapologetically yourselves. Has that been challenged? Have you ever had those moments where you thought, maybe I should code switch, maybe I should, try to dim it down, dumb it down, lower the, like, make it, like, I don't know. Brenda, choose nodding. So tell us, Chu, have you ever been challenged to dim your light or make yourself fit, even though you know that, like,
No, I think absolutely, especially in comedy, you'll even be advised and encouraged sometimes by other folks to, like, if you're doing this kind of show, more of this, and if you do this, more of that. And the thing is, I'm an okay comedian, but I'm a terrible actor. So I found it a lot easier to be like, look, I don't care. I'm sharing me, which is more about me, and I'm just sharing me with you, whoever you are. And in regular life, I talk to everyone, and I don't turn into a different person because I'm talking to a different group. I cut up and act silly with everyone, and so I end up ultimately finding it's like, look, folks either like you or they don't, but either way, I'm gonna have a good time, because that's the point.
And this is the thing. Those that shift themselves, and they might win over that audience that night, but then they go home and they feel less than.
Yep.
Because they realize, I sacrificed my integrity, who I am. Like, and how many of us make a deal with the devil for that success? And then once they get it, they realize, No. Brenda, have you ever made a deal with the devil?
I think I've made the deal with several devils. I think you know what? I think I made a deal with several devils before I realized that it was all inside of me all along, and that these devils, they couldn't put out the light in me. So it took me a while to figure out that the chocolate child was the match that lit the inferno that is called Sauce in the City. And without the match, you can't light it, right? So, but what the one thing that I have done all along is I've always been me. No matter if I tried to lie about being me or not, the me, I'm so me that it just it shined through no matter what. So it didn't matter if I was lying, trying to be somebody else. The Brenda Brown in me was like, I don't know what she doing, but
so like, true, you're not a good actor, but you are a fantastic comedian and authentic soul. And every time you've tried, even the truth just kind of beamed out.
I swear, like I try to go in and I try to play this hard businesswoman, right? Because I'm thinking I want to go into business and I want to be, you know, up with the corporate people. And I go in and I get fired.
Do you, Brenda, want to be with the corporate people?
Actually, yes. And I'll tell you why. Hold on before everybody starts throwing tomatoes. I know, right? I work for this company called Zappos.com. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but they were bought out by Amazon.
These Crocs were ordered on Amazon or on Zappos.
Okay, so I had the privilege of working there for 3.5 years, and I had the most fun that I ever had in my life while getting the work done. So I met and I had the opportunity to be in the close personal space.
Buck's like, no tomatoes, no tomatoes.
Thank you, Buck. Thank you, Buck. Okay, I had the privilege of working very close to Tony Hsieh, and he was worth, I mean, more than I will ever see in my entire lifetime. But he was the most authentic person ever in life. And he would, when I would give him a hug to say hello, he would always whisper in my ear, "I'll see you at the top." And I always thought to myself, you know what? I don't know how you think that, but if you say it, then it must be. So I've always wanted to bring the comedy and the corporate world together, because you can have fun and still kick ass and make money.
Yes.
So I've always wanted to kind of be that person to make those two things come together, because we don't have to fight people. We can make money in a corporate world and we can laugh our asses off all the way to the bank.
I love it. Oprah was all about passion plus service is success. And I spell success with $2 at the end, because don't get it twisted. This is the entertainment business. We are in it. Like, it's got to be sustainable. And we should be paid accordingly. But Absolutely. It has to start with passion, authenticity. But then how can you be of service? Brenda, you have been such a service to so many comedians, so many voices. So success is, the universe is already lining itself up. Miss Chu Bu, do you agree, disagree? Have you found that formula, passion plus service equals success, to be true?
No, absolutely. And that's one of the challenges, especially if you want to be a professional entertainer, professional comedian, or anything else. It becomes incredibly important to remain authentic, but also, definitely keep the business in mind, because you have to respect the space that you're living in. Which
definitely. Oh my God, she's brilliant, Iggy.
There's a reason why you two are together in the same. Like they're I know I look like I don't know what's going on, because I got a unicorn and like a shoe with some flowers, but like
that's your Pegasus. That's not a unicorn. That is your Pegasus.
No, this is my Pegasus.
Okay, wait. Now turn to the left or the right and give me the profile. Give me the Iggy. No, hold the unicorn. Now do the profile. If I can go anywhere, it will be right where I belong.
No, like I was like, everyone as a child, they're like, what would you be if you were an animal? I'm like, Pegasus unicorn.
Oh wow. I love it.
No, literally, everyone's like, I want to be a beaver, and I'm like,
yeah.
I am not a lesbian. I want to be a beaver. I want to be a Pegasus unicorn. And so I had this custom made here in Mexico. There's this amazing shop. And so I was like, they needed some business help because they had a bunch of horses and they weren't selling. And like, what you need to do is just stick a bunch of horns in them horses. Add some wings. As soon as they shoved the horns in the horses, they all sold out. They were they're like, this gay Ukrainian Jew who randomly speaks Spanish actually know, like, sí, claro que tienes que poner cuernos en cada caballo que tienes. Put the horns in every single horse you have and you're going to sell the out of it. Give it some wings. No, la verdad es que sí. Pon un poco de cuerno y la va a venderla. Give it some horns. You're going to sell it. All the horses are sold. Why they are still making armadillos, I do not know.
I don't either.
Oops, it fell. This unicorn Skittles has, this is not a tail. This is called a bulava. And this is a Ukrainian scepter. So all of the Ukrainian royals have this thing. In America, I think they call it a mace.
Okay.
A mace?
I call it 20 to 30.
20 to wait. Ooh,
I mean, am I wrong, Chu Bu?
It does look like a Viking torture device. Like,
some say it looks like the coronavirus. Some say it looks like, Tuesday. I'm gonna let that one sit for a second.
Or a Great Friday.
Girl, you a 9-to-5er. Meaning that many of us work for the weekend. And so we don't have the luxury to celebrate like we want to on Tuesday because we got to wait till Friday. That was the beat that I was trying to make, but didn't really land. It didn't work.
Because I'm like, Friday, that's when, all kinds of weird stuff happens. And that looks like it could be included in the weird stuff. And remember, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. So
another party town. So we got NOLA. What do the Las Vegas people call Las Vegas? Like what's the local Vegas? So they call it Vegas. They call it what?
Sin City.
So do you call Sin City? Okay,
no.
See, I didn't know it. Is this a term?
I was born and raised here, so it is not Sin City to me. It is just home. It is my birth home. I never left. That's why I too am a unicorn. Is because everybody else left and they left me here like dang near by myself. So, no, I just call it home. But Vegas, Sin City.
You live in purgatory, aka home.
Well, I think I am purgatory. I think anybody who lands in my midst, you guys can get ready to have some fun and get ready to get in this stuff and get ready to take a ride that is the time of your life, because I wouldn't have it any other way.
Chu, have you been to Las Vegas?
I have. I want to go back. Yeah.
So I would love, Chu, give us one of your most bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, or hot experiences in Las Vegas. Give us your BITCH Vegas moment, please.
Okay, let's see. No, I went to a conference. It wasn't anything too crazy. I think afterwards, the one interesting thing that happened is what happens in Vegas sometimes leads to very, weddings a little bit afterwards. There was a lot of like.
Did you get married?
I did not.
Did you get married?
I knew a couple spinoffs.
Are you single?
Oh.
Chu, are you single?
Oh, I am single. This is a great time to pitch. Like, so if anyone's out there in Vegas or anywhere within Southwest,
no, we're global now.
Then and the planet. I've been to other places.
So, I just want to. By the way, men, when you roll up on a woman and you have a digital date, please order her some Postmates and have the food delivered before you log on.
That would
be a man. Order your woman some Postmates, log on to Sauce so she can have some wine. And that is being a man. That is why I am gay, because I cannot afford Postmates nor Sauce. So, But I
Wait,
know what
or
it takes
bring
in
your
cost of
90-day fiance application with you, because like it's since you're worldwide, Iggy, I'm definitely looking for someone who does not live here in the United States,
That's what I'm saying.
because I want to be on the show. What do you mean? Like,
How would you feel if you're gonna have an online date, right? And then bing bong, here comes dinner and a drink, a bottle of wine, everything arrives at your door.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that
Wow.
shows some mad respect. You're like, okay. Like, has that happened? It's
no.
No one
about to.
knows to do
Because
that.
the men who are watching are like, oh, they're taking notes. They're like, oh, I did not even know.
Well, you know what? That is definitely something to do. Please order Postmates, deliver flowers. That would be very nice and very out of right. But here's something you don't do. Make stupid jokes. Like, I'm so glad we're on this, because yes, I too am single. So Chu Bu, me and you should like hook up and like, go do some maybe double online dating. Who knows?
Yes, we'll figure it out.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
here's the thing. I'm just starting a new show and it's called Virtually Strangers. And I have literally asked 100 people who I don't know, who just sent me a Facebook friend request or accepted mine. And I've asked them to come to the screen, and so we can all meet each other. Now, I'm just saying, don't put in my inbox stupid jokes and the clips of you being dumb. Like, don't do that. So order me some Postmates, but
So
don't put
what
stupid clips.
understand quickly, stupid clips are you trying to be funny.
Yes, I
When
think the
you are
word is called
authentic and truthful,
don't be
but when you
chuggy.
try, you fail. When you just are, that's the secret sauce. Comedians who just start out try to be funny. I'm like, stop trying to be funny. Just try to be honest.
You know the new word, Iggy? It's called chuggy.
Ooh,
Okay.
chuggy. Ooh, yes.
That's right. Do not be chuggy. And chuggy is when you trying, but it's not working. So don't be a chugger.
Well, because wait, how do you spell this? Chugi, how?
CHUEGUY. Chuggy.
Girl, we got to cut this out of the thing. No, I'm not gonna complicate Chu's life with no
I know.
Chugi situation. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Chu Bu, not Chuger.
Yeah,
That's right.
Chubi.
To be or not to be? How about that? That is the question.
That is my speed dating show. So there you go.
Now is my favorite time of the show where I call it the monologues, where strong women in your life have inspired you. And if you were to speak to the younger version of yourself, what words of inspiration, truth, encouragement would you love to bestow to your previous self? So if you could go back and speak to the younger version of yourself, what lessons would you impart to that young woman? And did you discover them, or were they imparted to you by your grandmother, your mother, or another strong woman? Chu.
Okay, I would tell my younger self that for her to just be present, let her know that don't worry, she doesn't have everything figured out, because you never will. It's an ongoing process, and to just kind of enjoy the experience, because the journey is the point, not your destination. And those were definitely inspired by some of the amazing women in my life, and also my own experiences. So
I love it.
So joyful journey is that's yes.
That's a joyful
The
journey.
goal is this. The goal is the moment. The goal is celebrating this. And I say that out loud because I need to remind myself of that all the time. So thank you. Miss Brenda, your turn.
Well, this is going to be a weird one for me because I am more of a daddy's girl and not so much of a mama's girl. So that's, I'm a little hard-headed when it comes to women. And I've grown up, running outside with the boys and just, loving on my dad and being kind of a daddy's girl. So let me think. I know I got it. Oh,
No, don't think, just feel.
This is courtesy of Miss Sharon Phoenix. Shout out to her because she is one of my women mentors. I love her. I love her. And I guess what she always told me was it was very short and simple. Keep going, develop. And I would tell my younger self to keep going and develop. And here's also where I have like a crossroads, Iggy. I did everything I wanted to when I was growing up. I didn't let the fact that I was Black or a woman or any of that stuff.
Oh, I forgot you're Black.
I know, me too. I
No,
forget all the
because
time.
like, I have not. Like, is that weird that I have not addressed the fact that either of you are Black or female until like now?
No, we haven't addressed the fact that
Does that need to be addressed?
that you're gay. So no.
I mean,
Why?
I have a
We're just great
unicorn with a
people.
thing coming out of its back, but like whatever.
Well, I mean, obviously, me and her both. But anyway, all I'm saying is like I just never. It's almost like I just flew my life without advice. Like oh, that's good. I should write that down. I flew my life without advice. I just went for it. Whatever I felt or saw in my head, I just went for it. And whether it worked, didn't work, kind of worked, I just kept developing.
So what Brenda's, I'm going to reiterate this. Brenda has navigated her life from an emotional point. Every time that she's been asked, and you've seen it in the show, to navigate cerebrally, meaning through thought, she kind of shut down and then she accessed the crack. That's the phone. But her guiding compass, her northern star was always her gut, her intuition, and her emotion. And so what I'm just breaking it down. You are a perfect example of someone who has navigated their life through instinct, emotion, and what feels right. Not what they think should this, but just how they feel. And it has led you to so much success. Is that correct? Am I?
Absolutely. The one word you're missing is truth. I've led my life through truth of how I feel, truth of if I like it or I don't like it, or if I'm scared of it or if I'm going to brave it. But I've always lived through my heart because I've always had the biggest heart ever. And I've always lived through what Brenda wants to do. So truth.
What Brenda wants to do. Okay, what is truth? What Brenda wants.
And it doesn't have to be true to anybody else except for the person doing it.
I love it. Yes. That's amazing. Like so many young women, young boys, doesn't matter. Young individuals, non-binary humans. Live your truth. Do you. Do what feels right.
That's it.
And I love that. And I think that is so powerful.
When it doesn't feel right, quit doing it. I've raised my son this way.
So you're a mom too?
I am a mom.
I mean, actually, I knew that, but I said that like, ooh, like, but I.
Well, people out there don't know. Yes, I am a mom. Chu Bu, are you a mom?
I'm not a mom. How old's your son?
My son is 21 years old. He'll be 22 in a couple months.
So, and are you a single mother or is daddy in the picture?
I definitely am a single mom.
Okay, so stop. We have an amazing, successful single mother in the house who has raised a 20-year-old man, and that deserves some mad respect and just a beat because that is not
21.
easy.
Don't take my 1 year away. 21, okay? Because they were all hard, all of them. No, actually, I've raised my son this way, and he is in his 4th year of college. He's going to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist, depending on how much he can put up with any more school. But he does it the same way too. If he does something and it feels right, then he'll do it again. If he does something and it feels questionable, he won't. And I think that's the simplest way to go. If you were raised right, I don't know.
Well, apparently you do know, and it works, and that's amazing. That's amazing. The fact that you are both empowered, authentic, unapologetic Black women in America. That's an added challenge.
That's an added bonus. Bonus.
Damn. Love you so much, Brenda. Thank you. Oh my God.
That's an added bonus.
Yes, I'm sorry. Like, yes. Like, I love the fact that she's like, we don't have the challenge. That's a bonus. Can you unpack? Because there's so many people that watch that are just kind of like, So if you had to, I got not mansplain, but empowered Black female single mother splain to the universe, what would be the one thing that you would love to just let people know? I mean, obviously, don't touch my hair. We understood that. Next, moving, like, what would you love to just, like, if you could tell the world just one truth, one thing, what the thing, like, people come to you with all these questions. I'm sure people come to you with these questions, and you're like, I'm just trying to do my shopping. Why am I having a teachable moment in front of pomegranates? Please, can I just get a pomegranate? So, to make your life easier, what teachable moment could you teach the world right now? From your perspective, from your truth.
Single mothers out there who are like me, admit your mistakes. Don't keep blaming it on the man that isn't there, because obviously you were there and you made mistakes, and so you just have to own up to them. And please stop trying to be your children's father and their mother. Just govern the fatherhood body.
I don't know what that means. Govern the fatherhood body.
Govern the fatherhood body in your child's life means to make sure that the male influences that are in their lives are good, whole, crisp, of a good nature, what you want to show your child, you know, as in man. If you don't have the father there, all the men that you do have in the child's life, just make sure that you are governing that body of fatherhood. And I don't care how many men it takes for you to fill in the blanks. Just govern that. Just make sure that these men are showing your kids the right thing, showing them the right things to do.
So amazing.
So you govern the fatherhood body. You don't try to turn into something that you can obviously never be because you don't have the right body parts. So that would make my life easier.
So Chu, I don't know your how you grew up. Did you grow up in a single mother, full family? Was your raising done with a male governed perspective?
It was interesting. Like, okay, so I had a full family. I come from a big family, and there's a lot of women, a lot of strong women in my family. So one of the things I'm actually glad about is that my dad really encouraged that, you know, empowered and strengthened all the girls and all the women in his life. And my grandmother's strong figures, my aunts are strong, my mom's strong. And so I always felt empowered as, it's like, it's weird to even say empowered as a woman, but I always felt empowered as a person. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of the stuff that has to do with like race and gender and all, it's other folks having to catch up to where I already am, so they can get to the point where they can see the personness inside. And I think the beautiful thing is for us all to be able to see the humanity and the personness of each other, regardless of all the different layers of stuff that's like that we see before that, if that makes sense. But I also want to say, I love the fact that we started off talking about truth, and then we kind of circling back again to truth, and how much I'm realizing I'm evolving in terms of the idea of like empowering truth. Like, I kept saying it's what's inside, but then it has to be governed by reality. And I realized that you form and create the reality. A lot of that is the perception around you. And that actually limits what's inside sometimes. You're like, oh, I see all these amazing things inside, but no, but you see, if you don't see it with your eyes, create it, make it, just follow it. I like I love, Brenda, I love what you were saying about, if it doesn't feel right, stop at any moment, even if it feels right for 2 minutes. And then if it doesn't, it's like, okay, that's enough. Now that's the end of that.
Moving on.
This is try. This is scientific.
Moving on.
It. Now let's do this. Okay. It's trial and error. Okay. Far
Absolutely.
enough. Turn left.
It is. I told my son it's as easy as changing your mind. That is how easy it is. You can literally wake up in the morning and say, I don't want to do it anymore.
Woo!
And you can literally not do it. Or you can wake up in the morning. I love what you said, which is, if it's not there, create it. I have lived my life on that. I will waste my last. I just got chills listening to my own self because I know it's true. I'm like, okay, go girl. Listen, yes. Everything in my life I have created, I created it because it wasn't there. Just like this new show that I'm doing, Virtually Strangers, nobody's ever done it before. And you know why I'm doing it? Because nobody's ever done it before. And so but I could wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I don't like it. I'm not doing it anymore.
Wow.
See, and what I love, oh my gosh, Brenda's like, I'm going to create the reality that I want. And so the fact that there is this male father archetype missing, I am going to fill that with the male archetype that I feel is the best representation of a man, a father for my son.
Yes.
And I'm going to create his reality through the representation of what I feel is a true man. I'm going to stop blaming what's not there. I'm going to acknowledge that space, but I'm going to fill it with what I feel is right. And for those that are watching,
the fatherhood body.
Yeah. What is missing in your life? Fill it with what you want.
Yeah.
If you don't know how, put the people that do know how in your life. Connect with those. And that's such a powerful concept. And very humbling. Like, there's many things that I cannot do. Play basketball, sing. I'm tone deaf. I got some rhythm, but I cannot sing. Like, I'm tone deaf. That's why I can't speak Chinese. I'm tone deaf. What are the things I would love that you recognize in yourself that you are not good at? Can you be honest with us and vulnerable, Brenda Chu? What do you, girl, I am
Cooking.
not.
Like, let me just name the stuff that I'm good at. It's a shorter list, okay?
No, girl, you are amazing at living, being a mother, raising a child, launching like amazing comic careers, creating a media empire. Like that list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, not good at stuff. I can't be honest and truthful because anything that I can't do, I put it so far out of my mind that I don't even think about it, because if I can't do it, there's no reason for me to be thinking about it.
So do you hire people to do it for you?
No. I ask people to do it.
That was the first time you like left blinked at me.
Yeah, because my mind was like, do I pay?
No, because she was like, no, I can't blink.
No,
it's like,
no, because I don't pay people to do things that I can't do. I just pay people to do things that I want done to get something else that I want done, if that makes sense.
You basically pay people to do things that you need done.
Okay, so like if I'm going to have this big, I'm going to call it a media makeover event for Father's Day. That's my next thing coming up. It's a media makeover. I'm inviting everybody here in Vegas that has anything to do with the media world all down to one point so that the world can see how important media is. It really is important. There is a job behind this.
So if we go to facebook.com/SauceInTheCity, is that how we can access this new information?
That is how you can access this information right there.
Done and done. Okay, so we're gonna access this. We're coming to Vegas,
and I can't DJ, like I can't play music. But instead of me harboring or trying to figure out how to play music or whatever, I just go. But I need music because music is a good. If you have a DJ, you have a party. So what I want is the media makeover event. then I just pay people to add to make what I want better. So I will go hire a DJ. I will go get media companies to put up big billboards and definite things. But like, I can't cook. I don't pay somebody to come in my house and cook. I just do what I can to.
She orders Postmates.
So that's the difference.
Chu, are you willing to admit one of your vulnerabilities?
Oh my God, so many, so little time. No, I will say, I think I have what I call challenges, because I've been working on them. But and I say challenges because it's just, once I have awareness that challenge is coming up, I can start being intentional to slow down and work on it. I have challenges with being really present. I get very focused on stuff I'm doing, and I get very intense in it. And I'm very glad that I have certain people in my life who kind of remind me, even if you're like almost done, and by almost done, not almost done, but like in journey, that I need to be present in case they need to talk right then. Or if anyone needs me, I make sure I have that space, because sometimes I can unintentionally seem like I'm so busy with something more important that I'm not available. For what's really important, which is those I care about. And I'm also challenged to be sympathetic. Like, I'm very empathetic. Like, if I can connect with it and understand it, that's easy. But if it's something I don't I don't connect with, then I'm more challenged to have that same kind of emotion, the same sort of sympathy. And I have people in my family who are very sympathetic as well as empathetic. They don't have to understand something to be a fervent, passionate protector and supporter of that. And so I'm like challenged to be like, okay, I don't understand what you're saying, but I am completely I'm there regardless.
The theme of the show has been
truth.
You don't have to mentally, cerebrally understand, but can you emotionally connect?
Yeah.
And it's not about the understanding, it's about the feeling. That's just what I've been garnering from the theme of the show that happened kind of organically. And what you're saying, what Brenda has been saying, what you've been putting down is that, it's not about the understanding, it's about the feeling. It's about that empathy, that compassion, connecting on that emotional level. You might not be able to understand it, but the one thing that is universal is that emotion, is that feeling.
With feeling comes understanding, I think. If you could feel it, you can understand it. If you can't feel it, then it's hard to understand, because you're like, what? I don't even get that. I mean, I know it's got to be happening, but I'm just not sure that. And I think that's what Chu Bu was saying, is that if she can understand, or if she can feel it, she can understand it. If she can't feel it, which is the identification part, then she can't understand it. And she's like having a hard time connecting and being sympathetic to it if she can't feel it. So it is going on, no doubt about that. But I think that's what her challenge is connecting to things that she doesn't feel.
You know what got me? I just had a moment, like aha moment.
Yes, yeah, this is what we do.
Because I'm trying to have a cerebral, intellectual connection to it. But if you just want feeling to feeling, because even if I don't understand why you're feeling that, I can understand that what it is to feel, and that you're feeling something. You know what I mean? So because your rationale, like your perspective, your truth may be different from. I say that, and I'm saying your truth because I'm not using the dictionary definition. I'm using this personalized, feeling based one. I'm saying all this with love. That if I'm trying to connect here, and really it's connecting heart to heart. When it comes to that sort of thing, it's like, okay, the details doesn't even matter, because the heart, I know heart wise, I want everyone to be good. And I want everyone to be okay. And I know that I don't want anyone to feel bad or to not be in a great place.
Well, that's why you're working on it.
Exactly.
And for me, it's a challenge that you want, Iggy. That's not what you asked me, but my challenges are shutting down, and not being able to come back. Once somebody hurts my feelings, or once somebody does something to me that I feel it makes me go inside my shell, because I am a Cancerian woman. And so I draw in when you hurt my feelings. And it's not easy to hurt my feelings, but when you do, I go inward and I do not come back out. Like, it's done. So I do have a challenge with that, and that is being vulnerable, because like, I don't like people to know that I'm a total woo-hoo, but I can be when you hurt my feelings. So I'm working on it though, like Chu Bu. I'm working on it.
The greatest teachers are the greatest students. And if you encounter anyone that makes you feel like they have the secret sauce and they know it all, run like the wind. Because
Like,
any great mentor, teacher, soothsayer, wizard, sorceress will tell you that they know nothing, but they have the hunger to learn everything.
Oh.
We have Mr. Buck Evans. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Some snaps. Oh my God. This has been so powerful, so emotional. I am just in awe of your honesty and the courage that you have had to just speak authentically and truthfully. Thank you, Chu Bu. Thank you, Brenda Brown. This is just the beginning. So, world, you are welcome. You are welcome.
Well, I mean, Iggy, I'm not, it's always my first time being on other people's shows, so I never know what to do. But I want to thank you from the itty bitty bottom of my hair bow here for having me on the show. Like, this is the other side of the coin, I guess you could say, because I'm always the one on your side. And so this is like, this to me is, I'm addicted. Like, I'm addicted. And so thank you so much. And I'm going to see how I can figure out how to do more of these, because I want to be on this side.
Yes, yes, yes. We love you, world. Chu Bu, Brenda Brown, Iggy Love Sky. We love you. We're going to see you next